Okay, continuation po natin sa tongue diagnosis made easy. Sa coating thickness po tayo. Okay, the normal coating is thin and it should be possible to see the tongue body through it. So, pag nakita natin na thin coating and this is a normal tongue coating, dapat natin makita yung tongue body through it. If the tongue body cannot be seen, the tongue coating is too thick. So makapal siya pag hindi natin makita. The thickness of the tongue coating reflects the strength of the pathogenic factor clearly and accurately. Ibig sabihin, the thicker the coating, the stronger the pathogenic factor. So pag nakita natin na makapal or mas kumapal, ibig sabihin, mas malakas po yung pathogenic factor na present. If a thin coating becomes thick, it indicates that the pathogenic factor are getting stronger or that they are penetrating deeper into the interior. So, pag nakita natin from the start, na-observe natin sa patient from thin and yung succeeding treatment natin, nakita natin na mas nag-thicken yung coating, ibig sabihin, the pathogenic factor ay mas lumalakas and mas pumasok na po ito deeper. So the latter situation applies to condition of acute external disease. So these are explained in greater detail later in the chapter. Therefore, if we are treating a patient with the thick tongue coating, we should expect it to become gradually thinner. So with the intervention ng acupuncture, which is to treat the patient, dapat na ma-observe natin yung thick tongue coating gradually magdinipis. In some cases, a thick tongue coating can revert to normal even after a very short time. So pwede rin bumalik na sa normal. As mentioned above, a thick coating may be with or without root. So sa thick tongue coating, pwedeng may root, pwedeng wala, but the clinical significance of its thickness is the same. So habang siya po ay makapal, ang ibig sabihin lang nun, it reflects the strength of pathogenic factor na malakas po siya kasi makapal nga yung tongue coating, whether it is with root or without root. So here, tongue coating is considered thin if the underlying tongue body shows through faintly, whereas a thick coating is one that completely blocks the tongue surface. So, yun po ang kaibahan. Pag thin, mas nakikita natin yung tongue body. Pag thick naman yung tongue coating, it blocks the tongue surface. Hindi natin makita yung tongue body. Sa clinical significance, differentiating the thickness of the tongue coating can help distinguish the condition of antipathogenic Qi as well as the depth of the disease. So, pag nag-thicken ang tongue body, ibig sabihin yung antipathogenic Qi naman is humina po yung panlaban ng katawan kasi lumalakas nga yung pathogenic factor. And habang kumakapal siya, ibig sabihin yung depth ng disease pwedeng from external, mas pumasok na po siya paloob. Sa pathophysiology of the tongue coating thickness, the tongue coating is generated by the stomach Qi. So, ang responsible po ng tongue coating ay yung stomach Qi. It is created by the upward tide of the spleen and stomach yang Qi evaporating and transforming damp turbidity. So, yung spleen and stomach yang Qi from the stomach nag-evaporate and transform po yung damp turbidity, thus producing yung tongue coating. If the spleen or stomach functions are impaired, so kung may problema po sa function ng spleen and stomach, there is not enough power to evaporate and transform damp turbidity. So hindi po magawa yung pag-evaporate and pag-transform ng damp turbidity. Alternatively, if the kidney and stomachache is insufficient, so dito naman, kulang yung kidney and stomachache, there will not be enough body fluid or damp turbidity to steam upward. So hindi naman makapag steam upward or umangat, resulting in a thin tongue coating. When the spleen and stomach transportive and transformative function are compromised by food stagnation, kung may presence of food stagnation or phlegm dampness or accumulation, or magkakaroon ng accumulation, this problem will increase the turbidity. So mas magkakaroon ng turbidity in the stomach, and thus more steam will rise, causing the tongue coating to grow thicker. So pag may presence of food stagnation, phlegm dampness, so this will result to thickening of the tongue coating. So mas kumakapal po. So here may illustration tayo ng pathophysiology of tongue coating thickness. Yung spleen and stomach na impaired, merong deficiency ng kidney or stomachache. So next, magkakaroon ng deficient power or lack of turbid gene to steam upward. So ito po yung pag tiningnan natin yung tongue na there is little or no coating. So halos nawala na po yung tongue coating. Ibig sabihin, yung spleen and stomach is impaired, may deficiency sa kidney and stomachache. Next, dito naman sa gitna, nakita natin na thin coating, ibig sabihin, maganda ang stomach chi plus nagkaroon siya ng turbidity na tama lang yung amount. Yun po yung pag-angat niya papunta sa tongue, resulting to a thin tongue coating. Dito naman sa isang side, yung spleen and stomach dysfunction, meron siyang damp, merong phlegm, merong food stagnation. This would result to excessive turbidity, resulting naman sa thick tongue coating. So pag naka-observe tayo ng thick tongue coating, meaning we have a spleen and stomach dysfunction, merong dampness, phlegm, or food stagnation. So next table, we have the thin tongue coating and thick coating. Sa description, thin tongue coating is clearly seen, yung tongue body is clearly seen through the coating. While sa thick coating, tongue body is not clearly seen through the coating. So dahil makapal siya, hindi makita yung tongue body. Yung indication ng thin tongue coating, this is a normal, or kung may pathogenic factor, this is an exterior syndrome. It could be mild or early stage of the disease. Sa thick coating, ang indication there is a retention, merong stagnation of damp, merong phlegm, merong food or water. Next, sa pathogenesis, sa thin tongue coating, there is presence of stomach chi, nag-generate ng tongue coating. So, sa thick coating naman, there is retention of phlegm, may dampness, or food that causes stomach chi to combine with turbidity, which rises upward and accumulates on the surface of the tongue. So, kaya nag-resulted to thick tongue coating. Sa pathogen strength, pag thin coating, kung merong pathogenic factor, meaning weak pa yun, while pag kumapal na, ibig sabihin ang pathogenic factor is strong. Sa location naman ng thin coating, pag may pathogenic factor, meaning it's still an exterior, while pag kumapal, ibig sabihin mas interior na po siya or pumasok. Sa severity, ang thin tongue coating, ibig sabihin this is a mild form, while having a thin thick coating, severe na po yung condition. Sa stage, pag nakita natin thin coating, meaning early stage, pag kumapal, it is a later stage naman. Sa prognosis, pag thin coating, thin or thin to thick, from manipis, naging makapal, ibig sabihin, this become worse condition. Sa pag naging thick naman at nagdipis, ibig sabihin, the condition becomes better. Okay? Sa root of coating, the normal coating should grow out of the body of the tongue like blades of grass grow out of the soil. When this happens, the coating is said to have a root. Also, from the Western anatomical point of view, the filiform papillae, the coating in Chinese medicine, grow out of the body of the tongue like blades of grass. So para siyang damo na tumubo po. Coating with root indicates an intact state of stomach qi, even if the coating is pathological in other respect. So pag may root po yung coating, ibig sabihin, intact po yung stomach qi. Example, thickness or yung color. For example, a coating may be thick and yellow indicating stomach heat, but if it has a root, stomach qi is intact even though there is heat. So since may root po yung thick coating with the presence of yellowish coloration, ibig sabihin there is a presence of stomach heat. Even though there is pathogenic factor, yung yellow coloration, thickness ng coating, pag ito po ay may root, ibig sabihin intact po yung stomach qi. So by contrast, if a coating lacks root naman, it indicates that the stomach qi is weak. So pag nag-start na po na mawala yung root, meron na pong weakness ang stomach qi. In general, it is better to have a pathological coating with root than a coating without root. It is important not to confuse the root or lack of it of a coating with its thickness. In other words, a coating without root is not necessarily always thin. So, hindi ibig sabihin na na wala siyang root, yung coating, thin na po siya. A thin coating without root simply indicates a deficient stomach qi. Pag nawala na po yung root, ibig sabihin, there's a deficiency sa stomach qi. While a thick coating without root indicates stomach qi is deficient pa rin and that there is a pathogenic factor present. So, pag kumapal ang coating, wala siyang root, ibig sabihin, there is a deficiency of stomach qi and at the same time, malakas po yung pathogenic factor. The coating without root looks like it has been added on the tongue rather than growing out of it. So para lang siyang pinatong. One can imagine a bare patch of soil with blades of grass scattered on it. So parang lupa daw na nasa ibabaw lang yung mga scattered grass. So here po yung picture. On the left side, ang tongue with root, yung grass dito rooted. The same with the example of the tongue sa baba. Ito po yung may root. Maganda po yung distribution. On the right side, yung soil, naibabawan lang po ng grass. And sa tongue picture, ito po yung without root na para lang pong nasa ibabaw ng tongue yung coating. Sa filiform papillae, ito po yung normal filiform papillae, yung coating with root. So, ito po yung sa microscope. So, dito, itong dalawa, filiform papillae lying side by side coating without root. Yung sa right side, ito po yung normal. And sa left side, ito po yung coating without root. Parang na-flatten po siya. Okay? So here we have another picture, yung tongue with root on the left side. Ito po yung first picture. Even itong mga example ng tongue pictures may mga cracks. Pero pag in-observe po ninyo yung tongue coating, um, almost evenly distributed po siya. Kumpara po dito sa my right side, yung rootless, yung tongue coating, parang bawas po yung tongue coating and nakababaw lang po siya. Okay? So here we have another picture. First, yung nasa taas, thick coating with root. So ito po makapal, evenly distributed yung tongue coating. Ito po yung with root, even ito po ay makapal. Ito yung sa baba naman, yung apat na pictures. This one is a thick coating, wala siyang root. So pag in-observe natin yung first picture, parang nasa ibabaw lang po. Same with the second. Dito rin sa third, as well as dito sa fourth picture, yung tongue coating is parang nasa ibabaw lang po. At puro po sila is thick tongue coating and without root. Next, we have coating without root ulit. Thin white coating without root. Sa first picture, yung white coating dito para lang siyang nakaibabaw. Same with the second. And here po sa third, may mga bawas po yung thin white coating. And sa last picture, ang fourth picture, thin white coating din po. And wala rin root ito. So this one, another picture. First, ito po sa my left side, small patch of thin white coating without root. So pag in-observe po natin, nakababaw lang po yung white coating. Hindi siya gaano evenly distributed. Ito po yung next two picture, thick coating without root. Yung sa gitna, concentrated po siya left side ng tongue. The other side, wala po coating. And kung mapapansin niyo po, para lang siyang nakaibabaw and para siyang easily na matatanggal. The same with the third picture, thick tongue coating without root. Para lang po siyang nasa ibabaw. So sa thickness of coating, the normal coating should be thin and white. It is thin enough for us to be able to see the tongue body through it. A thick coating always reflects the presence of a pathogenic factor, which may be yung cold or heat, merong dampness, phlegm, or external wind. The thicker the coating, the stronger the pathogenic factor. Note that a thick coating may also lack a root. So kahit makapal po yung coating, pwede pong wala siyang root. Sabi ng author, I call this the worst of both worlds because it indicates that on the one hand, the pathogenic factor is strong and on the other hand, the body's chi has been weakened. So ganun po yung nangyari, malakas po ang pathogenic factor and nag-weaken yung body's chi. In acute condition, the tongue coating can appear quickly. Therefore, if we see a new patient with thick coating, we have to keep in mind the possibility that it reflects an acute and passing problem. So we have to confirm through history taking kung ito po ay very recent and this could be a passing problem lang. So first picture, we have a normal coating, evenly distributed. May presence of crack. And dito po sa right side, thick coating, may yellowish coloration. So yun po. although the clinical significance of the coating is somewhat less important than that of the tongue body color and shape, it is clinically important to differentiate full from empty condition. So with the help of tongue coating, we can differentiate yung full and empty condition. If the tongue has a thick coating with root, rooted po siya, the condition is full. Pag ang condition naman is empty, the tongue coating is missing or it is thin. So yan po yung difference ng full and empty. Moreover, in mixed, deficient, and excess condition, the thickness of the tongue coating is important in choosing the appropriate treatment principle. So with the help of the tongue coating, dito po natin magagamit yung appropriate treatment principle. If the tongue coating is thick, kung makapal po yung tongue coating, sabi ng author, I should start the treatment with a formula that eliminates pathogenic factor. So kung makapal po ang nakita nating tongue coating, ang suggested treatment is to remove or eliminate the pathogenic factor. So tandaan po natin yun. And if the tongue coating is thin, kung manipis na pan yung tongue coating, ang author suggests that start with the formula that tonifies the tongue body. So tandaan po natin, kung makapal, tanggalin muna natin yung through observing the tongue coating, i-eliminate muna natin yung pathogenic factor. Kung nakita naman natin na manipis lang ang tongue coating, we should tonify the body's cheek. Okay, tandaan po natin itong dalawa. For example, in a chronic fatigue syndrome, there is practically always a combination of empty condition, often spleen deficiency, with a full condition, often dampness. So this is a case of a combined excess and deficient condition. Merong presence of spleen deficiency and dampness. Sabi ng author, I consider the tongue coating an important factor in deciding whether to concentrate on eliminating the pathogenic factor if the coating is thick. So dito, para ma-determine natin kung ano ang first na gagawin, through observing the tongue coating, kung makita po na the coating is thick, so we need to eliminate the pathogenic factor. Pero kung makita po na coating is thin, we have to tonify the body's cheek. So yun po yung very important factor ng observing the tongue coating with condition na combined and deficiency and excess condition. So also here we have a note, although the thickness of the coating reflects the presence of pathogenic factor, it is not only sign that does so. Notably, the swelling of the tongue body also reflects the presence of pathogenic factor. So hindi lang natin kailangan obserbahan yung tongue coating na kumapal, but also the presence of swelling reflects the presence of pathogenic factor. It follows, therefore, that a thin coating does not necessarily always indicate an absence of pathogenic factors. So hindi naman ibig din sabihin na kung tinan nyo yung coating, ibig na hindi naman basta natin masabi na ito ay yung pathogenic factor is not present. Sa thickness of coating, to summarize, we can identify 4 possible pathogenic conditions from the thickness of the tongue coating. First, pag merong thin white coating with root, ibig sabihin we have a normal stomach chi. Ibig sabihin normal siya and the stomach chi is good. Secondly, if there is a presence of thin white coating without root, ibig sabihin the stomach chi is weakened and it is an empty condition. Number 3, if there's a thick coating with root, ibig sabihin the pathogenic factor is present and stomach chi is intact, and this is a full condition. Number 4, presence of thick coating without root. Ibig sabihin, the pathogenic factor is present, stomach G is weakened, and this is an empty condition. Tinatawag niyang worst of both worlds. Okay? So it is better to have a thick coating with root. Mas mabuti daw yung thick coating na may root, indicating a pathogenic factor, than a thin one without root, indicating weakened stomach G. The former is easier to treat than the latter. So mas madali pong gamutin yung may root than dun sa tongue coating na wala. I call the condition of a thick coating indicating a pathogenic factor without root, indicating stomach G deficiency, the worst of both worlds. So here we have a thin coating. Pag may root, ibig sabihin that it is normal. And yung thin coating without root, ibig sabihin the stomach G is deficient. Sa thick coating naman with root, ibig sabihin there is a presence of pathogenic factor, and thick coating without root, ibig sabihin the pathogenic factor is on background of stomach deficiency. So it could be either excess or deficient, and this is called the worst of both worlds. So we have on the left side picture, thin white with root. So ito po yun. Ibig sabihin normal stomach G, normal and stomach G is good. Yung second picture, normal color po siya, coating without root. Thin lang siya, ibig sabihin stomach G is deficient. Okay? So number 3 picture, we have a thick coating with root. Ito po, may root siya. Even black ang coloration ng tongue, which is equivalent to a pathogenic factor, presence of pathogenic factor, but stomach G is still good. Sa number 4, kung na-observe po nyo, yung ibang area, wala na pong coating. But thick coating po siya without root. So this is, ibig sabihin, there is a presence of strong pathogenic factor and the stomach G is weakened. So out of these conditions, yung number 3, ito po yung number 3 picture na may black picture, black tongue coating, thick black coating is better than the number 2, and number 4 is the worst of both worlds. Okay? Mas maganda po itong number 3. So, thank you po for listening.